Hello, my name is Phyllis Gordon, and I'm the children's minister here at Real Life Church. I'm very blessed to say that both of my parents are Christian, and I was able to grow up in a Christian home. I also grew up in the church. And there in church, I learned a lot about Jesus and about God while I was a child. Mom and Dad also taught me. And before asking Jesus into my life, I would argue with my sister all the time. I'm talking all the time. And I would get so irritated with my parents when they had to make me do my chores before I could go out and play in the neighborhood with my friends. Then at the age of 12, I realized that I needed Jesus to save me from my sins. I knew I could never be good enough to get into heaven on my own, so I asked Jesus into my life. I made that decision at summer camp that year. Immediately, I felt different. I knew who Jesus was and knew what all he did for me before. But once I said that prayer to him, I knew that I had a personal relationship with him. And a new joy came over me, and I really felt his love. I really tried not to argue with my sister and worked on my attitude concerning my chores. And I began serving in the kids area at church, and I loved it. And I went off to college, and I continued to serve when I came home on breaks. And then after college, I began to work full time. And later, Doug and I got married. And my life was great. I never really had any bad times. And I began to like having money in my pocket. And I really liked being able to buy what I wanted when I wanted it. You know, I still love God, but my priorities were not right at all. Then I got pregnant, and Doug and I were so excited about having a baby, but I had a miscarriage a few weeks in, and I was so angry with God. I mean, why would he allow this to happen to me? And this went on for a few days, and my sweet husband said we were going to church, and I said, oh no, I'm not going, but he insisted. And while we were there, my anger just boiled. I didn't listen to the pastor during the Bible study. I was completely checked out. And after the Bible study was done, they took prayer requests, and Doug stood up, and he told them what had happened. And they stopped and embraced Doug and me and prayed for us, and I felt a peace come over me, and my anger just left. My church family was so amazing. I couldn't believe that they would take the time to pray for me like that. And I went home and spent several days talking with God and reading my Bible, and knew that it was a wake-up call for me to get my priorities right. I needed to spend my time and my money wisely. So I began serving with the kids again and made sure I had time with God. And life was good again. We got pregnant again and things were going great, but 3 months later, I had another miscarriage. But this time, I had no anger. I trusted God knowing that he had a plan for us. If we had children, great. If not, it was okay. I mean, I wouldn't like it, but it would be okay. So Doug and I kept serving with the kids and trusting God, and I'm just thankful to tell you today that we have 3 beautiful daughters. I honestly don't know how I can live my life without Jesus. He guides me. He helps me. He comforts me when I'm sad, and he blesses me and takes care of me. And he helps me make decisions. He's always there for me. And because of him, I have hope. I know that he's preparing a place for me in heaven, and that sure makes me smile. Now, my life isn't perfect, and I'm not perfect, but I know when God sees me, he sees Jesus. I love him, and I strive to live my life for him daily. Now, if you don't have a personal relationship with him, or maybe you do but have your priorities out of order like I did, today would be a great day to talk to God about it. He is there for you just like he is there for me. So talk to him. He's waiting to hear from you. Thanks for listening.